Okay, problem number 1 on your Chapter 9 review says to go ahead and use dimensional analysis to convert the quantity to the indicated unit. So as I look at this first problem right here, I'm going to go ahead and convert 69 inches to feet. So remember to do this, you can go ahead and do your dimensional analysis. So the very first thing you want to do is you want to just remember that whatever unit you want, you go ahead and put in your numerator. So we're looking to change this to feet. So I'm going to put feet in my numerator. And in my denominator, I'm going to put inches. Once I have that down, I'm going to go ahead and write in the conversion. So if you don't remember what the conversion is, you can just look at your formula sheet. And when you look at your formula sheet, remember you'll have this formula sheet on your test. You'll be able to use it. You're going to see right here, here's my conversion right here. My conversion says I've got 12 inches, all equals 1 foot. So on this problem right here, I just go back and I fill this in. So notice, next to my inches, I'm going to put 12, and then next to my feet, I put 1. Okay, now that I've done that, notice that your inches are going to cancel out, and you're going to be left with just feet. And when you're left with feet right here, that just goes out front right here. And then I just multiply my numerator by my numerator. So I'm going to take 69 times 1. That's going to give me 69. Remember, this is all over 1, so I'm going to take 1 times 12, which is 12. Once I have 69 12 feet, I just take my calculator and go ahead and put that in my calculator. I'm just going to go ahead and type in 69 divided by 12. And when I do that, I get my answer of 5.75 feet. On this next problem, another conversion one. It says I want to convert 2.8 meters to centimeters. So we're going to look at change in units within the metric system on the formula sheet and count how many places to move and in what direction. So when we're moving in within the metric system on your formula sheet, when you take a look at it, and notice that it does have the basic units written down. And your basic units right here on this chart right here. So you can notice you've got the middle part right here is meters, and then as you go off to the left, you've got decameters, and then hectometers, kilometers, decimeters, centimeters, and millimeters. So all you have to do when you're working within this system is just go ahead and move between those different units, and you just count how many times you move, and then you just go ahead and move in that direction with the decimal. So let's look at this next example right here. I went ahead and wrote this down. So I wrote down my units that you find on your formula sheet. So we got kilometers, hectometers, decameters, meter, decimeters, centimeters, and millimeters. Well, it looks like I want to start at meters, and I want to move it to centimeters. So I'm going to start right here on meters. I'm going to move over to centimeters, and just count the places you move. So we move 1, 2 places, and notice we're moving to the right. So that indicates what you have to do with your original problem. So notice your original problem was 22.8. Here you got 22.8. We're just going to take our decimal, which is right here, and we're just going to move 2 places to the right. Make sure you fill in your zeros for any place that does not have a unit value to it, and then just go ahead and write your answer. So that would come out to be 2,280 centimeters. On this next problem, it says we want to convert from 330 miles to kilometers. So again, go ahead and put the unit that you want to keep in your numerator, and the unit that you want to get rid of, you put in your denominator. I put kilometers in my numerator because I want to keep that unit. I put miles in my denominator because I want to go ahead and get rid of that unit. And notice when you actually multiply, you can cross cancel, and that's what gets rid of those units that we don't want. So now we just go ahead and fill in with our conversion. So filling in with your conversion, you're just going to go to your conversion sheet. So looking at my conversion sheet, I just got to find the conversion for miles to kilometers. And when I look at that right here, it looks like it's on the other one. I scroll on down here and I find my conversion. Here's my conversion right here. It says I've got 1 mile is equal to 1.6 kilometers. I go back to my sheet and I fill that in. So notice next to kilometers, I put 1.6. Next to miles, I put 1. I'm going to go ahead and multiply numerator by numerator, denominator by denominator. So this times this, and this times this. So notice your miles are going to cancel. You're just left with kilometers. And you're just going to be left with 330 times 1.6. Take your calculator, go ahead and type in 330 times 1.6 to get your answer. And that comes out to be 528 kilometers. So that means that 330 miles is equivalent to 528 kilometers. On problem number 4, directions say express 45 kilometers per hour in miles per hour. Notice once again, we've got a conversion here. We're going to go from kilometers to miles per hour. So I'll do that again. The unit that we want to get rid of is kilometers. So we put kilometers in my denominator. Mile is what I want to keep. Now again, just off that formula sheet, we just took a look at it. So on your formula sheet, it just says that 1 mile is equal to 1.6 kilometers. So we put the 1 by the mile, we put the 1.6 by the kilometers. So this tells me that. I'm going to multiply the numerators together. So I get 45 and my denominator. So this is over 1, so that's going to be 1.6. And notice the kilometers cancel out and I'm left with miles. Now I just have to take my calculator and take 45. And I'm going to divide that by 1.6. And that's going to come out to be 28.125 miles per hour. Okay, on your next problem on number 5. A little bit of a story problem right here on number 5. Problem says on number 5, it says, if you jog 6 times around a track that is 800 meters long, how many kilometers have you covered? Well, the very first thing we have to do is we have to go ahead and find out how far we went in terms of meters. So I've got 800 meters long, 6 times around. If I multiply those two together, 800 times 6, I'm going to get my total number of meters that I jogged around the track. So 800 times 6, just take a calculator, type that in. So we've got 800 times 6, and that is 4,800 meters total. So I've jogged a total of 4,800 meters. Okay, now if you go back to your formula sheet, you're going to be converting meters to kilometers. So if you look at your formula sheet, you're going to notice here's our conversion right here within the metric system. So we had 4,800 meters, and we're going to go to kilometers. So you're going to notice you're going to move 1, 2, 3, and notice we're moving to the left. So you want to go ahead and do the exact same thing with the 4,800. So notice I went ahead and rewrote my units right here. And I moved from meters to decameters, hectometers, to kilometers. That's 3 places to the left. I'm going to go ahead and take that answer that I just got, which is 4,800, and I'm going to go ahead and move 3 places to the left. Don't forget your decimal on 4,800 is located at the very end of it right here. And so now I'm going to go ahead and move that decimal over 1, 2, 3. When I do that, I just put that decimal right there, and that answer comes out to be 4.8 kilometers. On number 6, it says Acadia National Park on the coast of Maine consists of 47,453 acres. How large is a national park in square miles? So we're going to go ahead and use our conversion. To use our conversion, remember you go ahead and write in the numerator what you want to keep. And remember square miles is the same thing as mi squared. So we're going to put that in our numerator. And the unit that we want to get rid of, which is acres, we put in the denominator. So remember to go ahead and go to your formula sheet and check to see what that conversion is. So we just got to find the conversion of acres to square miles. So when you find that conversion, you're going to notice that conversion is right here. says that 1 square mile equals 640 acres. Go back to our problem. So on our problem right here, we're going to fill that in. So 1, which was by the mile, goes next to mile squared, and 640 is by the acres. Go ahead and multiply those two together. So I take 47,450 times this 1, I get 47,453. And then remember, this is over 1, so I take 1 times 640, I get 640. Your acres are going to cancel, and you're left with your miles squared. Now when you're done doing that, just take your calculator and type in 47,453, and we're going to divide that by 640. And when we divide that by 640, I just round it off to the nearest 100, round off however you want to, and I get 74.15 miles squared. On this next problem, on number 7, it says find the size of the property in acres measured at 7.2 hectares. Set up your dimension analysis. Here we've got hectares to acres, so we want to keep acres. We want to get rid of hectares. So in my numerator, I've got acres. I've got hectares in my denominator. Now I just got to go to my formula sheet and find that conversion. So on your formula sheet, go ahead and find the conversion of hectares to acres. And I notice the conversion is right here. So your conversion says 1 acre is equal to 0.4 hectare. Go back to your equation and fill that in. So we got 1 acre, so 1 is next to the acre. We've got 0.4 hectares. Go ahead and multiply those together. The hectares are going to cancel, and 7.2 times 1 is going to be 7.2, and now 1 times 0.4 is 0.4, and notice I'm just left with my acres. Just taking my calculator, I'm just going to take 7.2 divided by 0.4, and that comes out to be 18 acres. So 7.2 hectares is equal to 18 acres. Now number 8, the directions say, it says a swimming pool has a volume of 33,000 cubic feet. How many gallons of water does the pool hold? So cubic feet, put that feet cubed right here. That's what cubic feet stands for. Got 33,600 cubic feet. I want to convert to gallons. So again, gallons is what you want to keep, so you put it in your numerator. Feet cubed is what we're trying to get rid of, so put that in the denominator. And once you have that written out like that, go ahead and go to your unit conversion. And our unit conversion says that's going to be found in table 9.5. So in table 9.5, let's see if we can find that conversion right there. So the conversion looks like that we're looking at is 1 cubic foot is about 7.48 gallons. Once I've got that conversion down, I go back to my problem. My problem right here. I'm going to go and fill that in. So next to the gallons, I put 7.48. Next to the feet cubed, I put 1. Now when I go ahead and multiply those together, I'm going to take 33,600 times 7.48. And notice the feet cubed cancel, and you're going to be left with gallons. Take your calculator and go and type that in. So 33,600, and I'm put my calculator, so 33,600, and I'm going to times that by 7.48. Once I'm done doing that, I get the answer of 251,328 gallons.